game participants to not get up here.
A couple of seconds ago, the reason I'm looking over your television sets, as it were, we saw Bill Harrell and Pat Rady, the respective coaches. Now here comes Shelbyville. We saw them back there, and they were having a conversation. That's a bit unusual.
Well, you know what might have been? They might have been trying to determine that maybe there was a mix-up on which end of the floor that they were supposed to go. Let me go get Pat Rady here and see if we got anything going on.
Pat Rady is now making his way up. He, of course, is the fine head coach of the Shelbyville Golden Bears. And he has come out here now and he's yelling at his ball club. And I'm not quite sure what the situation is going to. Wait a minute. No, they're bringing him back down to the locker room. Shelbyville came out, went into a little bit of a warm-up weave, turned right around and went back to the locker room. And Joe, here's Bill Harrell. I don't know if we get Bill or not. We've got some strange goings on here. Here comes Bill. And now look, Coach, I got enough trouble trying to keep track of all this. What's going on here with you guys?
I don't know. They're home team. We wait for the home team to come out.
We could see you and Pat back there having a conversation, and Joe and I were trying to figure because you lost about 5 or 6 minutes of practice time, but I guess everything is all right now.
Well, we'll have to wait and see about that, Jerry.
Bill Harrell, the fine head coach of the Muncie Central Bearcats, winners the last 2 years. Bill, you told me Thursday your ball club is healthy. You also said it's pretty much a ball club like your other ball clubs. Fundamentally sound and not a lot of height. Is that pretty accurate assessment?
Well, I hope so. We're a young team. We have 9 of these 12 players back, so we'll just have to wait and see how fundamentally sound we are.
It's nice to see you here again, and good luck this afternoon.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. Bill Harrell, the head coach. Here comes Pat Rady. I just told Bill Harrell, Pat. Now, Joe and I have got our hands full with all these screaming fans, and I see you coaches standing back there talking. You come out and take about a 30-second warm-up and leave. Now, we got an explanation coming for that.
Well, I think Muncie Central has a rich or something. They like to come out on the floor first. We just wanted to upset that.
So it's a little sight job, right?
Well, I don't know. It's just, you know, a lot of times kids get crazy things in their heads.
Yep.
And we don't have anything like that ourselves. And so if we can make them upset, why, this is our goal.
Your win down at Columbus East when you beat the Olympians down there. Some people are saying that was one of the biggest upsets of the tournament. Are you buying that?
Well, probably is, but we kind of thought we could win. But yes, as far as the record and the teams and the players and everything, and you look on paper, you'd have to consider an upset, Jerry. But I'll tell you, these kids have made great believers out of me this year. We weren't supposed to win, but maybe 5 or 7 games after losing 4 starters, and they've really come back strong.
Tell me about your club just briefly. What do you do well?
Well, we like to be patient, and so we like to hold the ball a little bit if we can get up on people. We don't like to run. We like to take our time on offense. Probably one of our strengths is ball handling, and I hope that doesn't go away. I hope I'm not jinxing us today, but no, in the region we only had 11 turnovers in 2 games, but Muncie Central, as you know, plays the same way.
And you're saying we might see a low-scoring ball game this afternoon then, Pat?
It could very well be that way. I think if we can match them on the boards, this is a key thing. They're 6'6", 6'6", 6'5", and we have a 5'8", 6'2½", and 6'1". But if we play with a lot of heart and we block out well, anything can happen.
All right, so you feel you're already one up. You've won the psych job early on, right?
Well, I don't know about that. You never know about things like that.
Good luck to you, Pat.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Pat Rady, the head coach at Shelbyville. That's what it was. Joe had suggested that we might be having a psych job here. Muncie Central likes to be the first on the floor. Shelbyville came out, did a real quick warm-up session, not more than 30 seconds, turned right around, went off the floor, then came right back out again. So the games people played. Final score first game again was Broderville 73 and Connorsville 65. Getting set for the second ball game between the Muncie Central Bearcats and the Shelbyville Golden Bears. Muncie Central unranked and a bit of a surprise in getting here with their 16-8 mark. They're young, 4 sophomores, 5 juniors. Bill Harrell is their coach. Shelbyville 17-8. First time they've won back-to-back regionals since 1952 and 53. Pat Rady, whom you just met as the coach. And Joe, both of them admitted a little bit of a psych job.
I called that one, didn't I? Yeah, they're both down there, and what it was that neither one of them wanted to come on the floor first. And so I don't think that can hurt Shelbyville any. I think they probably need a little help against the Bearcats here this afternoon, especially the size that the Bearcats have. So That's interesting the way it started. Cut short their warm-up a little bit. Hope everybody's warmed up when this baby gets going.
We're getting short of time here, I'll tell you that. I talked with Bill Smith, and I like your comments. Now you've had a chance to think about that first ball game. Broad Ripple was, I think, Joe, maybe as impressive as you and I have seen him in the tournament.
Broad Ripple is going to be tough to beat. I don't care who it is, who wins this game, because Broad Ripple at this time is at the top of their game. Their defense was superb, I thought, this afternoon. They just shut down the passing lanes, and when they trapped, they got some steals, and their board work is good. As we've said so many times, and I hate to be redundant, but they have all areas of the game covered. They have the big guy, they have the good passer, they have the quickness, they have the defense, they have some perimeter shooting. So what else is there, you know?
Let's take a look at this second ball game. Muncie Central, they are 16-8. Joe, your thoughts on the Bearcats? They're awfully strong fundamentally.
Well, you know, we were talking there during the first game. Excuse me. The Bearcats had a little bit of a rough time. I think they lost 8 games, right, this season, and so they don't do that very often. But once the tourney starts, once they throw up the ball for the IHSAA tourney, then they have to be counted on. They are. Rick Rory was here. You remember last year, Rick is their main man, but they have good size, and so they have an outstanding coach in Bill Harrell.
All right, the scene is set. Both ball clubs are finally out on the floor. It's Muncie Central and Shelbyville in our second game of the afternoon. The Indianapolis Semi-State. We're back with that for you in just a minute.
To introduce new Mellow Yellow, the world's fastest soft drink, here are Randy Smith and Gus Williams, two of the world's fastest basketball players in a fast drinking contest. It's Smith on a fast break with his lemony smooth Mellow Yellow. Double dribble! Oh, but Smith's called for a foul as Williams lays up his great tasting Mellow Yellow to win easily at the buzzer. Mellow Yellow. No wonder they call it the world's fastest soft drink. Try it!
Helping keep your family healthy is one of the main concerns of your Hooks pharmacist. And that's why we put child-resistant safety caps on your moisture and light-resistant medicine containers. Safety caps are specially designed to be difficult for little hands to open, and they help keep potentially harmful medications away from youngsters. But if you find your prescription containers are too hard to open, and there are no little ones in your home, you can ask your pharmacist in green for regular caps. Just one more reason Hooks drugstores are first in prescriptions.
Fellas, you've learned how to start a fire, blaze a trail, and tie knots. Now for something tough. You're going to learn how to find the best Chevrolet deals in town. You're going to learn how to find Bud Wolf Chevrolet. Now, wait a minute. I didn't promise you a picnic. It isn't easy to find the best Chevrolet deals in town.
Is it on Keystone?
No. Bud Wolf stands alone in service, savings, and location. Now, let's take a look at the map. Bud Wolf is 3 minutes west of Glendale on 62nd Street. You get out your compass, you see.
What's the address?
Well, yes, it's 1045 East 62nd Street.
Yay!
Yes.
Joe, let's take a quick look at a couple of the fellows we'll be looking at this afternoon. From Muncie Central, Rick Rory, number 25. He is a junior at 6 feet 6 inches tall. He averages 8.1. I beg your pardon, he averages 16.6. He's a 6'6 junior. He is a youngster that you'll see a lot of this afternoon. It seems like he's been playing with the Bearcats for 5 years, but he's only a junior. Keep an eye out for him. On the other side of the ledger for Shelbyville, look for Mark Kraft, a 5'7 senior. He'll wear number 42. He's the top scorer with 16 per ball game. He is the leading assist man with 4.4 per contest. He is a 3-year starter. He is an outstanding basketball player, Mark Kraft. And we've got some scores for you. Final, Marion beats Warsaw by 62-57. Gary and Grayan gets by Carmel 60-54. And at halftime, New Albany has Terre Haute South down by 10, 33-23. We prepare for the second ball game. Let's go back across the floor now to Ivan Mormon. Number 12 coming out on the floor now was John McCoy. Here comes number 13, Tyrone Springer, 5'9 sophomore. Here's Matt Shearer, number 20. He is a 6-foot senior. These are the substitutes for the Muncie Central Bearcats. Number 21 is Terry. He is a junior, standing 6'3". Has been a starter, by the way, from time to time this year. One One of the youngsters, a sophomore at 6'4", John Dockery, wears 23 for the Bearcats. Joe Landfair, number 24, 6'2", junior. And number 32, Gordon Walker, was 6'6", senior. Normally a starter. He's had mononucleosis and then a badly sprained ankle. Here is Rick Ross, mentioned him to you, a 6'6" junior, averaging 16.6 per contest, going at one of the forward spots. The other forward, number 34, Jeff Simon, a 6 junior, top rebounder on the club with an average of 7.9. Mark Averill is a 6'5" senior, averaging just under 3 points per game. Billy Graham, number 10, one of the starting guards, a 5'10" sophomore, averaging 5.3. And Scott Sorrell, number 14, will start at the other guard position. Scott, a 6-foot junior, 11.5 points per contest. And there on your screen is Bill Harrell. Last couple of years, the coach of the year. And he is some kind of a guy. Now we're getting ready to introduce the Golden Bears of Shelbyville High School. A record of 17-8. Offensively, 62 points a game. That's the same as Muncie Central. These ball clubs very even statistically. Here is number 20, Chris McNew. Number 40 is Tony Fair. He is a 6'2" junior, averaging less than a point per contest. Number 54, Jeff Johnson, now coming onto your screen, a junior at 6 feet inches tall. Matt Hartnett, number 24, 6'2" junior. These again are the substitutes. One of the youngsters, a 6'1" sophomore, Todd Brokering, number 52 for the Golden Bears. Number 44 is Brian Kiefer, who's a junior at 6 feet 7. Now the starting unit, number 34, Layman Carter, senior, 6'1", 14.4 per contest. Tim O'Banion, number 30, goes to the other forward position this afternoon. He's a junior at 5'8". Here is the man in the middle, and he's only 6'3". Scott Jones, a junior, number 22, averaging 6.5 per game. Mike Blackburn, number 32, is one of the starting guards. He's a 5'11" senior, 12.5 per contest. And number 42, Mark Kraft, goes to the other starting guard position. He is a senior at 5'7". Pat Rady, whom you all...
Okay, on the left is screen there is Frank DeSantis, and on the right is Roger DeYoung.
We've had Roger in 2 or 3 of our high school games of the week so far this year. And those are the fellows in charge of the striped shirts here. Joe?
Roger DeYoung is one of the best officials that I've ever had work for me. And I don't say that because we were classmates at Purdue either.
Nothing to do with it, huh?
No, nothing at all.
Pure coincidence. I'll tell you, of course, I guess you get associated, Joe, as a coach or a broadcaster with certain officials, and you are impressed with the way they work. And we've had some good ones this year. For the most part, our games of the week have been very well officiated. Muncie Central 16-8. Shelbyville is 17-8. The Golden Bears control the tip. We'll try to set up the matchups, and Joe will take a look at the defensive setup. And Joe, right off the bat, looks like a zone for Muncie Central.
Looks like a 3-2 or a 1-2-2. Rory's dropping all the way to the baseline, covering the middle.
Shelbyville will indeed be patient. They will not make a whole lot of mistakes by throwing the ball away. 32 for Shelbyville is Mike Blackburn. Out it comes to Mark Kraft. Blackburn again. Now to Tim O'Banion. Back to the point man, Mark Kraft. Kraft will handle the ball, well, a great deal this afternoon. Interesting story about his family. We'll get into that as we have an opportunity. In the corner, Blackburn, no. Rebound pulled off inside by number 34, Jeff Simon, the 6'6" junior for the Bearcats, starting at forward. In a hurry, right side drops it off in the middle, and a walking violation called against Mark Averill. So Rory got it inside beautifully to Averill. He couldn't find the handle, walked, and now the Golden Bears will bring it back. It'll be Mike Blackburn, number 32, Mark Kraft, number 42. It is that zone that Joe mentioned just briefly. We've gone 55 seconds, no score.
Jerry, I talked to the Shelbyville coaches, and they said that when they didn't have the break, they were going to take plenty of time with their offense.
Another walking violation, Mark Kraft.
It'll take both baseball clubs a couple of minutes to get their game feet,
despite the fact that Bill Harrell has been through this trying times of a state tournament the last couple of years. He has a very young ball club, most of whom have not felt this pressure. Jeff Simon, first side, Scott Sorrell, rebounded, put right back up, and it will not fall this time from Mark Averill, and the Golden Bears come out of there with it. Mark Kraft, the point man. In the corner, open man, off the back of the rim, rebounded by Jones, but back up and good. Scott Jones, their 6'3" junior center, gets the first 2 points of the ball game, and Shelbyville goes out in front by a 2-0 margin. We've got a minute and 40 seconds. They lob it inside to Simon. Simon's bucket is good, and a foul is called on Shelbyville's Tim O'Banion. Number 1 on him. Look at it again, Joe.
All right, let's look.
How strong that was. Getting whacked on the arm. That's a nice job by Simon.
We're back live now, and number 34, Jeff Simon, a 68% free throw shooter, is up there. He is averaging 11.9 per contest, and that gives him his first field goal and first free throw of the afternoon. After a tie at 2, it's now 3-2 with Muncie Central in the lead. They quickly get into that 3-2, or as Joe mentioned, perhaps a 1-2-2 zone, and an air ball is tossed up from long range by O'Banion. Muncie Central with number 10, Billy Grimm, in command. Right side of Rory, lob inside to Simon. And Joe, I think in the first minute and a half, we've already established the fact that Muncie Central is going to get it inside, and very quickly Shelbyville wants timeout. 5:50 to play, first period, 5-2. Muncie Central over Shelbyville. We'll be right back.
You don't need a poet to let a friend know you care, because there's an American greetings card from Hooks for just about every wish, thought, or feeling you might want to express. Feelings of joy, of sorrow, thoughts for today, and hopes for tomorrow. You'll find them all at Hooks. So you never need to play the poet at Hooks. All you need to do is care.
The milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
Melt in your mouth, not in your hand.
Melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
Rich, delicious milk chocolate, but there's no chocolate mess because M&M's have a bright candy shell.
M&M's chocolate candies, I think you're just grand. Melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
M&M's plain and peanut chocolate candies.
Couple of minutes gone, first period. Muncie Central out in front by a 5-2 count. Shelbyville's Golden Bears will bring it up. They've got the ball now in the hands of number 30, Tim O'Banion, a 5'8" junior. At 5'8", Joe, he can dunk the ball. He's the second leading rebounder on the club. In the corner, Shelbyville can't get it to fall. Whistle and a foul inside. And it's against number 34 of Muncie Central, Jeff Simon. Tim O'Banion, number 30 for Shelbyville. Keep an eye on him. 5'8", he can sky.
Let's watch Jeff Simon go over the back there. He sure did. It's a nice call by the official. Sometimes, you know, officials make calls from away from the situation, but they can see him when the other guy's blocked out. That was a nice job.
Shelbyville, not surprising us at all. This is exactly what we had expected. They will take their time. A very deliberate, offensive-minded club, taking only the open shots, and there's one in the corner that would not fall for Mark Kraft. And when they don't get it, they're not likely to get the basketball back. Muncie Central right up the lane, and 2 points for Rick Rory. It will count. And Rory may pick up the personal foul in the process. Rory getting his first 2 of the afternoon, also picking up the personal foul. And Joe, I'm almost convinced from what I've seen earlier that Muncie Central is going to take it right at Shelbyville and just put them to the test early.
Take it at them, both on the break and also when they get set up, the lob passes you mentioned before. They're going to knock it inside. Shelbyville, on the other hand, has sent Mark Kraft to the baseline. They're blocking the two guys low in the Muncie zone.
That's Kraft with the basketball now, number 42. It's almost taken away. Saved by Layman Carter. First time he's really touched the ball, and a foul is called as Carter gets in amongst some heavy traffic. Mark Averill picks up personal foul number 1. And the third against the ball club. It's a 7-2 contest. Shelbyville jumped in front 2-0. And since then, they've been outscored 7-0. Trying to go inside and getting it down low to Scott Jones, deflected away, and belongs to Shelbyville. Broad Ripple won the opening contest 73-65 to earn the right to play the winner of this game tonight at 8:15. We'll be on the air at 7:30 here on TV4. 4 minutes, 36 seconds to play, first period. And if you like deliberate basketball, we've got it for you, because this is pretty much the way this game will be played. Scott Jones missing. Rebound, Muncie Central. They're not getting second opportunities. This is Rory. Inside, whistle, lane violation. Somebody, I think Mark Averill, may have set up a housekeeping in there, and they caught him on it. One of the young fans in attendance. Not a bad crowd this afternoon, all things considered. What with the NCAA downtown, girls gymnastics finals at Perry Meridian High School today. Here is Kraft. Back of the rim, right back out to Rick Rory. Oh, great lead pass and 2-point for Scott Sorrell. Oh, Joe, somebody really put that thing on the number.
Rick Rory threw it right through there. Beauty.
9-2 contest. Back to a 7-point lead. Muncie Central out in front. Shelbyville taking the outside shot and missing, and again they will not get the rebound, but they get the foul. Scott Jones picks up number 1.
You see the shot here now. Gets on the inside. Nice job. Boom, that jumps right into the man on the left of him. That's
now
too bad.
some full court pressure being employed by Shelbyville. Muncie Central breaks it easily. Scott Sorrell in the corner. Simon partially deflected. Loose ball finally goes out of bounds. Belongs to Shelbyville. Golden Bears will get it. Shelbyville Superintendent John Hayes. Ray Kraft is the principal. That is indeed Mark Kraft's father. Blake Ress is their athletic director. School attendance about 1,372 in the 4 years. The old gold and black of Shelbyville High. Layman Carter inside and back out to Kraft, and right side they go again. They work the ball well, but they cannot get anything to fall. O'Banion misses, and Muncie Central brings it up with 3:15 to play in the first period. 9-2. Deflected away. Last touch by Shelbyville. But Joe, Shelbyville's got to be wondering if they're ever going to get a second opportunity from the field.
Well, you know, they're getting some good shots, as you mentioned, but they're not getting anything to fall right now, and they're absolutely not even coming close to getting an offensive rebound.
Inbounds man is Scott Sorrell, number 14, into Rory. Back to Sorrell in the corner. And the rebound pulled off instead by Tim O'Banion. Youngster I told you could really get up there. 5 minutes gone, first period. 9-2 your score with Muncie Central on top. Shelbyville led it one time, 2-0. Now they've worked the ball inside. Jones, no. And the rebound cleared out of there with no contest to Jeff Simon. I'm sure Pat Brady was very concerned about the rebounding abilities of his club against Muncie Central, and so far it's been concerned that well should have been, because it's been all Muncie Central off the boards. Kraft tapped up and gone. And that is Tim O'Banion. O'Banion knocks it home for his first 2 points of the afternoon, and finally, Joe, they went about 6 minutes, almost 6 minutes, about 5.5 without scoring. It's a 9-4 contest. Muncie Central had 2 more for Jeff Simon. Simon has 7 points. 7 of the 11 that they have showing right now. 11-4 the contest. Muncie Central with 2 minutes exactly to play in the first period. Bearcats still in that zone. 2-3. In the middle, deflected away and reaching in. And the foul will go against Gordon Walker for Muncie Central. You'll see a lot of Gordon Walker today, despite the fact he does not get a start ball. Now a substitution for Muncie Central, number 20, Vance Shear. Into the ball game, Billy Grimm, number 10, will leave the lineup. Grimm going out, no points, no fouls. Once again, they got the ball to Jones, and they had a turnaround shot from inside 10 feet. They miss it, and Muncie Central comes off with the rebound.
Kraft has found an opening in the middle of the Muncie zone, and he's dealt it in there a couple times, just can't score.
That's Van Sheer. New to the lineup, 3.6. Pretty good shooter, shooting 53% on the season from the field. 13-4. Muncie Central, 1:15 to go, first period. A steal. Sorrell did the job behind the back, feeds off right side, deflected, recovered by Sheer, brings it out and sets it up. 1 minute, 2 seconds to go, first period. Scott Sorrell to Rory. They're going to go for one, Joe?
One shot, it looks like. Yeah, you know, remember last year now in the tournament, Billy would go for one shot anytime it got down to about a minute, and they were in the right situation if they were up. Right now, he doesn't want him to get any closer to 9 this quarter.
Van Sheer with the ball. He and Rick Rory were down to 40 seconds to go in the period. That's Rick Rory with the basketball. Mark Kraft out to play a token defense on him. On the near side is Scott Sorrell. They're looking at Scott. Don't go that away. Instead, go corner to Gordon Walker. Now back out to Rory again with 25 seconds to play in the first period. 13-4, Muncie Central. They jumped in front early, and this game has a lot of the similarities of that Broad-Ripple game against Connorsville that we just finished with a few moments ago. Now we're down to 10. Down to 8 seconds. They come near side to Rory, and he got it. It worked perfectly. Rory has 4. That's the end of the first period. The score, Muncie Central 15, Shelbyville 4, second period in a minute.
Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help?
Mm-mm.
Want my Coke?
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay. Thanks.
That's the way it should be. I like to say, see you around. The whole world smiling with me. Coca-Cola has life. Have a Coke and a... Wow, thanks, Mean Joe.
182-day money market certificates from American Fletcher are easier to get because we're easier to get too, with 60 convenient locations. You can invest in one in less time than it takes to open a checking account. We'll even send you a monthly interest check. Invest $10,000 or more today, and you'll earn at this high rate for this annual effective yield. Why does American Fletcher make investing in money market certificates so easy? Easy. We want to be your bank.
Joe, first game, I was just looking at the stats here. Broad-Ripple in that first contest shot 54.7 for the total game. Well, that's impressive. On 29 out of 53.
Yeah, they were 58%, I think, the first quarter, Jerry, and didn't fall off much at all, did they, in the last 3?
No, they were very consistent right from the get-go. 15-4 your lead. Belongs to Muncie Central, and so far they have been dominant in this ball game. It was 2-0 Shelbyville right at the outset, then tied at 2. On a 3-point play, they made it 3-2, and now they let it get out of bounds off the hand of Vance Shear. And from that point on, it was simply all Muncie Central. They ran the lead to 11 points, which is where it is right now in the first period. We're half a minute into this second period. Kraft, long range, off the back of the rim, and finally they do get an offensive rebound. It's put back up, and it won't go, but a foul is called. And the hand goes up of Gordon Walker. Let's see if this who it goes to. It is Walker, number 2 on him. Gordon Walker's had a tough year, number 32 in the purple. Had mononucleosis early in the year. Then sprained his ankle a couple of weeks back. And he was only about 70% of the regional. His shot, O'Brien couldn't get it to fall. It's still 15-4. That's where we last left you in at the end of the first period. Over the shoulder, Gordon Walker, and that's got him with 3 fouls, Joe, and very quickly there's going to have to be some changes. In fact, Walker gets out of there right now. Gordon Walker's 3rd foul.
We're going to see his 3rd foul right here. He goes right over the back. It's automatic that it's a foul right there. It's a nice call, and Gordon wasn't in there very long, was he?
No, he was not. He was a questionable player as it was. As I mentioned, he was only about 70% of the regional because of the sprained ankle. First period shooting, Shelbyville hit 2 out of 14 for 14%. Muncie Central hit 7 for 12 for 58. Rebound advantage to the Bearcats 10 and 7. And each club turned the ball over twice. Still 15-4. Now it's 17-4. Jeff Simon's first field goal, second period. Simon has 9 points, Joe, and his average is only 11.9. He's come out with a hot hand.
Tell you what, Jerry, they're getting too many good shots right now against Shelbyville, and I think it's because whatever they're running, Shelbyville's players are around them, but they're too small to stop them from shooting.
Blackburn couldn't get it to fall. Bearcats get the rebound and bring it up. Mark Averill lobs it inside, and a foul is called on Scott Jones. Number 2 on Scott, third against the ball club. Out of bounds to Muncie Central. You look into the crowd across the way. Some of the Shelbyville fans, not a whole lot to yell about right now. It has been a tough way to go for their ball club so far this afternoon. Out back is Banson. Shear hit the winning field goal in the second overtime against Richmond that actually brought Muncie Central into this afternoon's contest. Here's Shear. Had it deflected away. Goes to get it.
Muncie controls the game. Billy Harrell likes to do this now.
Blocking foul on Shelbyville. It's on number 34, Layman Carter.
Here's the drive into the middle, and Layman Carter, of course, fouls him right there. It looked like that Rick Rory might have hurt his ankle a little bit there.
Back line. 5 minutes, 55 seconds to play in the half. 17-4, Muncie Central. Oh, there's the alley-oop, and it works beautifully. Rick Rory was 6. Joe, that's a design play. They broke Rory loose around a pick at the top of the circle. There was nobody down to defend against him.
It was a nice play and a beautiful pass. Nice and soft.
Mark Kraft, high posting Layman Carter, back to Kraft, and he finally knocks one home. Mark Kraft getting his first 2 points of the contest. He is a 42% shooter from the field. And Joe, they've got to start hitting some of those, or it's going to be lights out early for the Shelbyville Golden Bears.
Well, right now their problem is they're not penetrating at all the defense of Muncie. Everything's perimeter.
Whistle, foul, reaching over. It'll be on 34, Jeff Simon. And I've got Jeff down with 2. And we'll make the trip to the other end now and take some foul shots. Muncie Central's record, of course, throughout history is phenomenal. They've been state champions 7 times in 1928, 31, 51, 52, 63, and then, of course, the last 2 years. They have been in the Sweet 16. This is the 30th time. Layman Carter's first point of the day. They've been in the Final 8 23 times, the Final 4 16 times, and in the final championship game 12 times. So they've got tradition with them about as much as any school in all of basketball. Rory again. Good move, couldn't get it. Rebound, right back up, Mark Averill. Mark getting his first 2 of the afternoon. Averill broke his leg playing football, so he's been slow coming around. 4 minutes, 45 seconds to play in the first half. 21-7. Now make it 21-9 as Shelbyville finally gets one to fall off the shot of Layman Carter. Carter's first bucket. It's only the 4th field goal Shelbyville has in the entire game. 21-9. Scott Sorrell, no. Rebounded beautifully by Layman Carter. Carter beginning to become a little more aggressive. Swings right side. Out and right back to him again. Carter, yes.
That was a pretty pass from Mike Blackburn there.
Little pressure on now by Shelbyville. It's a 21-11 contest. Simon may have walked, or was he fouled? He was fouled. And they're saying now, as you look at it again, that Mike Blackburn's a guilty party.
Replay right there. You can see Mike Simon right there going up, getting ready, faking. Took him a while to get spun around there, but he finally got it and then got fouled. The problem, as we saw right at the start of the replay there, Jerry, was the fact that they're getting the ball right there 5 feet from the basket on just a little lob pass, and they're not having to work it that much, and poor old Shelbyville just too small to do anything about it.
This shot by Simon. foul, by the way, in case you're keeping track with us this afternoon, was on Mike Blackburn. On Mike, that was the first. 21-11. Shelbyville could get a field goal here. They get right back in this contest. They've been down by as many as 11, 15-4 at the end of the first period. 3 minutes and 45 seconds to play in this first half. Shelbyville Golden Bears do not appear to be particularly perturbed by the scoring deficit right now. They've got their game plan and they're running it. Kraft can't get it. Plenty of room for Jeff Simon on the rebound. And the Bearcats, likewise, in a very methodical style offense. Get it in the middle, and a walking violation against Simon. Pat Rady, you saw him on your screen out yelling at his ball club. Mike Blackburn and Mark Kraft will bring it across the timeline. Well, Joe, they just don't get up and go, do they? They're just in no hurry at all.
Unless they have a definite numbers advantage. That's what they said they were going to do. Just take care of it.
Shot no good by Blackburn. Rebound put back up, and a blocking foul into the hoop on Terry Miller, who came in during the stop in action. Terry, a 6'3" junior, picks up his first personal foul of the afternoon. And with the clock showing 2 minutes and 58 seconds to play in the first half, and a 21-11 lead for the Muncie Central Bearcats over Shelbyville, timeout has been called. And we'll return to Hinkle Fieldhouse in the Indianapolis Semi-State after this.
No matter how sturdily you put together your house, your home needs protection against fire, wind, tornado, and extended coverage, plus liability. We would like to help make you feel happy and secure at home with a quality homeowner's insurance policy from Indiana Farmers and Town and Country Mutual Insurance Companies. Our policy is so easy to read that a child can read it easily. Yet it offers you the utmost in-home protection backed by service that includes our own specially trained adjusters. Look us up in the yellow pages. Indiana Farmers and Town and Country Mutual Insurance Companies. To protect your home sweet home, independent insurance agents, over 350 of them in nearly every county in Indiana, are ready to serve your needs as homeowners. Choose any one of 6 different packages available. Let Indiana Farmers and Town and Country Mutual Insurance Companies protect your home.
Joe, we got some scores here. Let's take a quick look at them. Fort Wayne South has Valpo down at halftime by a 30-22. Final score, New Albany has defeated Terre Haute South 72-59, and that may tell us something.
That is a big win for the New Albany Bulldogs. That's right.
I tell you, they are something, boy.
Team.
They've got a guard. They start a guard at 6 feet 8 inches tall.
I bet he runs right down under the basket.
You mean he's not a guard very long, is what you're saying.
Right.
Well, we've had him on one of our TV4 games of the week this year against Jeffersonville, one of our best telecasts of the year. And they are something. At the line is Layman Carter, 34. He hits the pair. Carter now with 7.
Full court pressure. Looks like a 2-2-1. Jones back.
Shelbyville a long way from being out of this contest. It's 21-13 with 2:50 to go on the half. Shelbyville has not come unglued despite the fact they trail by 11. They had their game plan from Pat Rady, their fine head coach, and they have stayed with it. Here is Rory missing, and the rebound and a foul shoving off will be called against Layman Carter. That'll be 2 on him. You saw Bill Harrell. Bill is a rather demonstrative young man, to say the least. Well, that doesn't take long for that sport coat to come off, does it, Coach?
No, by the time he sat down, when they threw the ball up, I think he had it off, right.
At the free throw line, the Muncie Central Bearcats in the form of Terry Miller, a 6'3" junior. Terry, although he comes off the bench, has been a starter on a couple of occasions this year. He played in only one of the games in the Newcastle Regional, did not score in the first game, did not play in the Richmond affair. O'Banion, the 5'8" junior, sky high to pick up that missed shot, and with 2.5 minutes to go in the half, it's a 22-13 ball game. Muncie Central stays in the 2-3 zone. Kraft, penetration now by O'Banion. It goes in, it counts, and the foul is called. The foul will be against Mark Averill, number 15. And on Mark, that is personal number 2.
Let's watch O'Banion scoot right through there. there was a foul back farther. It's a good thing he didn't call it for Shelbyville, because he got the hoop. Now he's going for the three-pointer.
O'Banion, rebound average 5.5 per contest, 7.9 scoring, completes the three-point play, and he has 5 points. His average is 7.9, and it's 22-16. Shelbyville gets right back in the contest now. Their cheering section on the other side of the floor, directly behind their bench, begins to make some noise. Rory with the basketball. He and Vance Shearer are the outside men, along with that man, Scott Sorrell.
Now we have Rick Rory in the middle of a four-corner offense right now.
Cross court to Scott Sorrell. Right side to Miller. They bounce it inside to Sorrell. Takes the shot and misses, and good position by Lehman Carter on the rebound. And now the Golden Bears can really get back in this contest. They move it inside and then flip it back out long range to 42, Mark Kraft. Now they go inside. The turnaround shot is too hard, and the rebound comes up to Shelbyville again. Scott Jones was in the middle, and that is O'Banion again. O'Banion has scored the last 5 points now, and a walking violation on Muncie Central as they get pressure trying to bring it up. It's 22-18, Joe, and it's been a very quiet cutting into the lead that Shelbyville has done, and they've called timeout. Muncie Central says, let's talk this over. It was at one time a 15-4 contest. The Bearcats are out in front, and Joe, for all intents and purposes, they had the game totally their way. They commanded the defensive backboards. What's caused the sudden slow turnaround?
Well, of course, once again, just as in the first game, Jerry, we see the Golden Bears of Shelbyville going down the court in full court pressure, and it appears to have them moving better on the offense also. So a good aggressive defense may have ignited their offense as well. I think that's probably the main factor.
I'm also impressed, Joe, with the fact that Pat Reddy's been able to keep his club in a very steady offense. I realize there must be a couple of times when you're down by 10 or 11 points and you're using a slow-down style offense that you want to get out and run and gun and throw your game plan out the window, but they've shown not the slightest inclination to do that.
I think that's evidence of a good job that he has in preparing them. They believe it, and Mark Kraft is making some nice passes. He's taking care of the ball. He's not hurrying. But we're still in the first half, and that's the way they should do it. And I think that's a nice job that the Shelbyville coaches are doing, as well as the players right now.
You mentioned Mark Kraft. He's the inbounds trigger man, and he is getting the ball in, and the foul is gone. Foul is on Scott Sorrell, number 1 on him. They lobbed it out back to Tim O'Banion, and O'Banion will be at that free throw line. O'Banion's been a big catalyst, Joe, on the onslaught here in the second period. He's taken things under his own control on a couple of occasions.
Well, you know, he even helped them out early and got that offensive rebound basket.
O'Banion has 6 points in the period, 8 points in the contest, and he can pull Shelbyville to within 2 after being down 15-4 at the end of the first period. He's got it up there and good. Shelbyville this period is 6 out of 9 from the line, and they have really made a contest out of it now. Muncie Central being harassed by a full court press, gets it across the line, and Rick Rory says, let's set up the offense again. Now they go into a four-corner again. I'm a little surprised. I thought they might go back into a full court or a full steam ahead offense, but that's not the case. Rory, as Joe mentioned, is sort of the focal point of this four-man spread outside. Here's a reaching in foul. It is on Mark Kraft, number 1 on him. Nobody for either ball club, with perhaps the exception of Gordon Walker, who has 3, and any foul difficulty so far.
But I think the big problem that they're going to that Shelbyville's going to face is the fact that they're not on the boards. They're going to get in foul trouble. They're 2 big guys with Jones and Carter, and so I think that's something we have to watch. Now that was not a good foul for Mark Kraft that time, Jerry. He's all the way out and back, and he went around behind the player, and you just are always going to get a foul called on you on that play.
Scott Sorrell misses the free throw. The Golden Bears have it, and they got a chance to tie. The last tie was all the way back at 2. Shelbyville led 2-0. Ball game was tied at 2, and as the completion of the three-point play, they fell behind 3-2, and they have been down ever since by as many as 11. And with 35 seconds to go, Joe, they're going to play for apparently the final shot.
Looks like they're going to try to go for one shot, try to get this thing tied by halftime. And that'll be a great comeback after being down 17-4.
Shelbyville now with 20 seconds to play in the first half. 22-20, they are down, but they have the basketball. Muncie Central stays in that zone. Now we're down to 10. Now it's at 8 seconds to play. They lob it inside, and they missed the shot. They had it to O'Bania beautifully. Here it comes up now. The shot is off the mark by Sorrell, and that's the end of the first half. Oh, it's been a great first half of play at Hinkle Fieldhouse in the afternoon game of the Indianapolis Semi-State. At halftime, the score: the Muncie Central Bearcats 22, the Shelbyville Golden Bears 20, and Joe and I will return to Hinkle in just a moment.
An investment in a 35mm camera means you want only the best in photo finishing. So turn to Hooks for expert processing by Levers. Levers professionals process and hand inspect so you don't pay for your mistakes. If a problem is suspected, you'll receive a helpful hints pamphlet to help you solve it. And Levers uses only Kodak paper for the good look. Remember, expert photo finishing is as close as your neighborhood Hooks dependable drugstore.
Ashford and Simpson, take six.
Okay, let's take a break. Have a Coke and a smile makes you feel good.
Makes me feel nice.
Oh, that's the way it should be. I'd like to see the whole world smiling with me. Coca-Cola has life. Have a Coke and a smile.
182-day money market certificates from American Fletcher are easier to get because we're easier to get too, with 60 convenient locations. You can invest in one in less time than it takes to open a checking account. We'll even send you a monthly interest check. Invest $10,000 or more today, and you'll earn at this high rate for this annual effective yield. Why does American Fletcher make investing in money market certificates so easy? Easy. We want to be your bank.
These days, Americans want good mileage and good value, and Ford's doing something about it. During Ford's Fuel Economy Celebration, make your best deal on a new 1980 Thunderbird, and Ford will send you a check for $500. Buy a high-mileage new Fairmont and get $300. Just take delivery by March 22nd. Ford's really putting its money where the mileage is.
Harold.
There's money where the mileage is.
Up to $500.
There's mileage news at Ford.
Back now at halftime. The score at halftime is 22-20. The Bearcats of Muncie Central have that 2-point lead in the Shelbyville Golden Bears. Joe, before we get to talking about the first half, for those who perhaps did not catch the scores, some of the latest scores that we had for you: Fort Wayne South leading Valparaiso at halftime 30-22, and a final in from down in Evansville, New Albany, beating Terre Haute South by 72-59. I think perhaps New Albany was a favorite, but I'm not so sure a 13-point favorite.
You know, Kevin Thompson had been playing real well, and as I mentioned earlier, and just took charge of the game against North side of Terre Haute when they won in the sectionals, and he's been playing real well, and so is Mahurin and those guys. So I'm surprised at that, but it means New Albany's for real.
And also we had Marion winning, and I think perhaps Larry Little's Marion Giants are going to have to be considered as a strong candidate to make the Final Four next Saturday at Market Square Arena also. We are at halftime, as I mentioned, of our second game of the afternoon. 22-20, Muncie Central has the lead. Joe, an emotional thing comes to my mind, and here again I deal in these big areas that you coaches don't pay much heed to. But when you've got a lead, as you suggested at one point, which was 13 in the first half, suddenly you find yourself leading by 2, and the other team has the ball, and they got a good shot out of that when they backdoored and went to O'Bania. They almost pulled the alley-oop play off. All of a sudden, that momentum did a complete flip-flop, and now I got to believe it's in the locker room with Shelbyville right now.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And had they made that basket to tie the score, well, it would have been hard to keep them in one room. Probably they would have been so high. But when they come back out now, I'm sure what we're going to see is we're going to see the Bearcats start knocking that ball inside a little more, because they're just too much bigger than Shelbyville And when they do that, they have a hard time defensing.
I got the feeling, Joe, that early in the contest, when Muncie Central was off and running and outscored them by, a size margin was 15-4 at the end of the first period, what was happening was they got the ball, ran it out on the fast break, and just gave them no second opportunities. And then all of a sudden the game appeared to get out of that mode of operation. Was it something that Muncie Central did, or was it something that Shelbyville did?
Well, Shelbyville did something offensively. I thought Kraft did a nice job, as I mentioned, of finding an opening in the middle of the Muncie defense, and he was able to penetrate it. If you remember, in the first quarter, throughout the entire first quarter, they didn't get the ball inside at all. It was all perimeter. Then he started knocking it in there to Jones, and he made a basket, and then that brings the defense back in. Now Carter and O'Banion, they can shoot it in a step closer, and so that helps to, to tighten up the defense, to bring it back. Before, they were just spread out and making Shelbyville shoot all outside shots.
22-20 your score at halftime. Muncie Central has the 2-point lead. Joe and I will return and take a little closer look at the individual stats in this first half of this ball game in just a moment.
Almost any time of year, breathing can become difficult when colds and fever, that stuffed up feeling in your head, team up to make you feel miserable. But through steam therapy from DeVilbiss vaporizers, relief is in sight. DeVilbiss vaporizers dissipate a soothing steam recommended by doctors. And for days when the humidity is low, the DeVilbiss humidifier helps keep you warm and dry. Look for DeVilbiss vaporizers and humidifiers at your nearby Hooks dependable drugstore.
To introduce new Mellow Yellow, the world's fastest soft drink, here are Big Daddy Don Garlitz and Bill Grumpy Jenkins, two of the world's fastest drag racers in a fast drinking race. Jenkins takes the lead with super smooth Mellow Yellow, but Big Daddy powers down that smooth, lemony taste to surge ahead to victory! New Mellow Yellow! No wonder they call it the world's fastest soft drink! How you feeling, Don? Don? Yo, Don!
In each case, the leading scorer scored 9 points. Muncie Central's Jeff Simon has 9. 7 of those came in the first period, by the way. And Tim O'Banion had 9, and he almost had 11 with that shot almost at the final buzzer at the end of the first half. It was 15-4 Muncie Central at the end of the first period. 22-20 at halftime. The Bears are out in the Bearcats are out in front. Joe, you have halftime team stats here.
Yes, we do. And Shelbyville, of course, shooting 7 for 26, a miserable 27% there. And the Bearcats of Muncie shooting 10 for 22, 45%. Shelbyville got 6 free throws down out of 9, and just 2 out of 5 for Muncie. Rebounds, surprisingly, are 19-18 in favor of Muncie Central. I'm a little surprised at that, but most of Shelbyville's came in the second quarter. Assists 7 for Muncie, 4 for the Golden Bears, and the turnovers, Muncie leads in that one 5-2, which is not a good one to lead in.
7 out of 26, 27% for Shelbyville. Joe, there's the whole story of the first half as far as I can tell.
It's hard to believe that they could be down only by 2 points, isn't it? But they made such a nice comeback there in the second. Well, they only had, what, 4 points the first quarter, so they hit a few more. They weren't that bad in the second quarter. They probably shot 33%.
Plus the fact, Joe, that they were not getting any second opportunities. They had a lot more shots than that in the first half of play.
That's right. They everything was perimeter, and they would get one, and then Muncie, the big guys from Muncie, which is going to be a big problem for them this half, the size of the Muncie Bearcats. They were getting them all.
Other scoring for Muncie Central, other than the 9 for Jeff Simon, 6 for for Rick Rory, I should say. 2 each out of Scott Terrell, Mark Averill, and Van Sheer, and 1 for Terry Miller. For Shelbyville, 9 for O'Banion, as I mentioned, then 7 for Layman Carter, and 2 each for Scott Jones and for Mark Crabb. Both ball clubs are back. Muncie Central just now rejoining us. 22-20, the Bearcats have the lead at halftime, and Joe Sexton and I will return to Hinkle Fieldhouse with second half play-by-play after this.
There's nothing like growing up on an Indiana farm, offering protection for it as part of our business. We were born over 100 years ago when a group of Indiana farmers agreed to share each other's future misfortunes. Today we offer broad coverage, not only farm and crop hail protection, but also home, auto, and business insurance throughout the state, with over 350 independent agents to serve you. People you can look to when you need a friend. Indiana Farmers and Town & Country Mutual Insurance Companies.
Stress can rob your body of B and C vitamins faster than you may replace them if your diet is inadequate. Stress Tab 600s help you correct overwork, fad dieting, and other stress situations. Each Stress Tab 600 contains 600 milligrams of vitamin C and B complex, plus the recommended daily allowance of natural vitamin E. So help keep your body in good nutritional balance with Stress Tab 600s, available now at your neighborhood Hooks Dependable Drugs.
If you had American Fletcher's combo account, you'd have your checking and savings in one handy book.
All right, where's the withdrawal slip?
You'd only have to remember one account number for both.
I deposited $60 on the 20. There was that $20 on the 60.
And each month, we'd send you one statement that tells you everything about checking and savings.
Withdrawal slip.
If you had combo, you'd never have to figure checking service charges because there aren't any. The combo from American Fletcher. Maybe you should have it.
I just had that darn thing.
If you've had it.
This is Pontiac Central, the good news from 25 dealers serving Central Indiana. I'm Paul Page, and today the good news is Pontiac Turbo Trans Am, the official pace car for this year's 500. You can register to win one when you test drive any new 1980 Pontiac at your Central Indiana dealer between now and May 15th. With 25 dealers serving Central Indiana, that's the good news today from Pontiac Central.
They're just seconds away from beginning the second half of play here at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Jerry Baker along with Butler University head basketball coach Joe Sexton. And Joe, I was remiss. I didn't ask you last week about your season with the Bulldogs. Last year at this time, we were watching North Central play, and you got about half their squad, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a couple, three of them on our ball club. Right. We did all right. We got a new conference, you know, and everything. We can talk about that sometime. We're real happy to be in the new conference. So we've played 5 freshmen most of the time in and out. They're top 10 people. We got a lot of experience. Played against some great teams.
Did I miss you giving me your record? Did you
12 and 15.
I see.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
Have to put up with that kind of coaching, right?
I wasn't going to say that.
Excellent.
We're set to go now. Second half play-by-play. Muncie Central in the purple uniforms, trimmed in white. Members of the North Central Conference, Shelbyville's Golden Bears, in the white uniforms, trimmed in old gold and black. And we'll see how the old fickle momentum swings here in the second half, because it certainly did a switcheroo at the latter stages of that first half. Shelbyville controls the second half tap. Golden Bears have it. 22-20 the score, with Muncie Central on top by 2, but they have been ahead by as many as 13 points. It was 17-4 at one point of the game. They lob it across on the screen to Blackburn, cannot get it to fall, and Simon comes off with the rebound.
Looks like a rerun of the first quarter, Jerry. Shooting it from the corners. The big Muncie guys getting it.
Billy Graham, now they go inside to Walker. He can't get it, and the rebound comes off in the hands of Mark Kraft. Father Ray, the principal at Shelbyville High School. This is Tim O'Banion in the middle, deflected and picked up by Gordon Walker. It's hard to tell, Joe, having not seen Muncie Central play, but Walker appears to be pretty much at full strength this afternoon, although I'm sure his ankle is bothering him. He had it badly sprained. Now a good position inside on that rebound, and it's yanked out of there by number 22, Scott Jones. Well, you know, I can think that if Jones had any kind of luck shooting in the first half, they might be up by 3 or 4 points, Joe.
Well, you never know. You know, maybe they've been closer and they wouldn't have made the run like they did. It's just hard to tell.
He had some tough luck. Jones scored only 2 points in the first quarter field goal. They're going down to the corner to Lehman Carter. Muncie Central staying in that zone. Now they come near side to Blackburn. He cannot get it. The rebound deflected away as Billy Grimm got it, and the reaching in foul is tapped on Shelbyville. It'll be on Mike Blackburn. On Mike, that is number 2. It's the first against Shelbyville here in the second half of play. There is number 32, Mike Blackburn, third-year starter, member of the football and the basketball squad down in Shelbyville. A minute and a half into the third period, no change in the score. Nobody's putting anything on the scoreboard. Here is Billy Graham. Rebound back into the hands of Walker. Out it comes to Simon, and he banks it off the glass. Simon becomes the first player on either club to hit double figures scoring-wise. He has 11. 6:13 to go in the third period. The alley-oop play into O'Banion in amongst the heavy traffic, and a foul is called. And the foul is on Jeff Simon, number 3. And I don't know if we got that one or not in the slow-mo or not, Joe, but that almost was a very clean block. Take a look at this and see.
Here it comes. Can you imagine?
Had to be a hip, I suppose.
I don't know. Anytime you go up over a guy like that behind him, why, they're going to call that foul, and there's going to be contact. Just about have to call it. Can you imagine that little squirt going in there underneath with all those big Muncie guys?
Well, I'll tell you, he is braver than Dick Tracy. O'Banion now with 10. Second leading rebounder on the Shelbyville ball club, and he's only 5 feet 8. He makes it 24-22. Muncie Central by 2. Shelbyville has led once in the game, a 2-0. Here is Grimm, 5'10" sophomore. Good ball handler. Threw it away. Lehman Carter, they could tie for only the second time in this entire contest. 5:45 to play, third period. Blackburn, oh, he bobbled the ball, did Mark Kraft. And he knew it. He had the ball, Joe, and started to make the cut and didn't have good command of the basketball and let it get away. Substitution now for Muncie Central. Vance Shear coming in. Billy Grimm going out. Grimm leaves the lineup with nothing showing in his score column and no fouls. So the backcourt combination is number 14, Scott Sorrell, and number 20, Vance Shear.
The Shelbyville defense has moved down now to pick them up full court.
Muncie Central makes the break, and they get the pass in with no real problem. Rory will get it across the timeline. Open man on the other side is Scott Sorrell. 5.5 minutes of playing time remaining in period number 3. It's a 24-22 basketball game with Muncie Central on top. Sorrell missing, and an offensive foul. Scott Sorrell with personal foul number 2 as you look at it again.
Let's watch this and see if he jumps into it. Looks like it might have been a pretty good call. I'd be interested to know if he heard the whistle and thought the foul was on the other man. He was trying to get the bucket, Sorrell.
Well, here comes Shelbyville. If you like, put it on the floor and pound it out basketball. You're loving this afternoon's game because nobody's getting in any hurry to go anywhere. Mark Kraft, number 42. When they get in trouble, they want him to have it. Mike Blackburn is his running mate in the backcourt now. Here is Kraft from 22 feet. Now, believe it or not, we got a tied-up ball game. It's only the second time it has been tied, and here is the foul. It is on Mark Kraft. That is number 2 on Kraft, the second against the club in this period, and timeout has been called. Tied at 24, 4:54 to play, period number 3. We're back in a minute.
Everyone knows that a smile means you're feeling good. This year, Hook's professional prescription people will fill over 8 million prescriptions. That should help keep a lot of people smiling. And smiles mean a lot to us. If it's important to your family's health, it's important to Hook's, dependable drugstores.
Just arriving, a new model with many new features. It's called CarMaster. And CarMaster is an exciting new auto policy from Town & Country Mutual Insurance Company. It gives you quality coverage at lower rates, easy to read with broad coverage features such as automatic coverage for the full policy period on additional or replacement cars if all owned cars are insured with the company. Ask your Town & Country insurance agent about CarMaster from Town & Country Mutual Insurance, associated with Indiana Farmers Mutual. See the yellow pages.
Joe, let's look at that last foul again because we called it wrong.
All right, we're going to see Mark Kraft. Well, it's going to be hard to see. It wasn't in there because it was down the floor, away from the ball.
Away from the ball. Yeah, apparently the foul went on Gordon Walker, and then on Walker, let's double check. Is Walker on the floor? No, he is on the bench.
Right.
He picked up his 4th personal foul. Take that one away from Kraft. That does not count. It's a 24-all tie. And Shelbyville could get the lead for the second time in the ball game. Oh, good pass inside.
Nice pass by Kraft into Jones.
Scott Jones gets the bucket, and Kraft really did a number on him. Looked one way and went the other. And Shelbyville leads by 2 at 26-24 after being down by 13 points. 4:20 to play, third period, tie ball game again. Jeff Simon with his 13th point. That's the third time it's been tied. Tied at 2, then again at 24 and 26. 4 minutes, 5 seconds playing time, third quarter action. Hinkle Fieldhouse at the Indianapolis Semi-State here on the campus of Butler University. Beautiful day outside, good crowd inside. First ball game was all Broad Ripple. In the lane, offensive foul. Goes against Layman Carter, that'll be 3 on him. Halftime score at Lafayette. Lafayette Jeff leading Clinton Central 36-25. Fort Wayne South over Valparaiso 40-35. New Albany beat Terre Haute South 72-59. We mentioned also that Marion was a winner. Here is the deflection, and Andrian was a winner. Here is Kraft, up and good. Mark Kraft had a steal in front of us here. Almost another steal and reaching in foul. Tim O'Banion got personal foul number 2, and all of a sudden Shelbyville defensively extremely aggressive. I'll look across the way at Pat Rady, the head coach of the Shelbyville Golden Bears. Pat, 5 years at Bainbridge, won 2 regionals there. He coached Larry Steele, now playing ball with Portland. Brother to your assistant, Mike Steele. Is that right?
No.
Not right?
Wrong.
Okay. Southmont, 1 year. 5 years at Winchester. Rick Rory with 8. Lock it up again at 28. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the third quarter.
The Bearcats have scored 13 points in the last 13 minutes, Jerry. They had 15 at the end of the first quarter.
Mark Kraft on the near side, now to O'Banion. Inside and back out to Kraft from 20 feet away. Deflected free, but picked up by Muncie Central's Vance Shear. And the Bearcats have a chance to go out in front again. We're tied at 28 with 2:44 to play. A blocking foul on Mark Kraft. Now Kraft has that second personal foul we told you about.
All right, let's watch Grimm on the drive here now. Does a nice job using his body. Mark Kraft fouled.
Muncie Central gets it in, and Rory gets it right back, then cleans it outside to Billy Grimm. Grimm, the 5'10 sophomore. Down deep in that corner, up the back of the rim is Jeff Simon. Rebound, back up and won't go by Scott Sorrell, and a whistle and a foul. It's against Muncie Central. That appears to be on Jeff Simon, and if it is, that's his 4th. And indeed it is, Joe.
Right.
So now they're big fellas, Gordon Walker and Jeff Simon. Each are in foul trouble, and Bill Harrell's got a bit of a decision to make down here.
Sure does.
Deflected away out of bounds, and it belonged to Shelbyville. What do you do in a case like this, Joe? Try to ride one of the 2 out? Well, he's made the decision already. He's gone to the bench. Terry Miller will come in, number 21.
Yeah, Simon's one of his main guys, and he just can't afford to take a chance of him getting a 5th foul and being out of here in the third quarter.
28 tie with 2:15 to go. Third period.
Shelbyville going to bring it out here a little bit.
It's a 3-out, 2-under type offense, and all they're doing is playing keep away right now. And now look out. A 5 count, it becomes a there's a foul, blocking foul on Scott Sorrell. Joe, the danger in that kind of an offense is you just sit out there and you kind of get out of your offensive momentum, and the next thing you go, you got a 5-second jump ball.
That's
situation.
right. Plus, you lose your drive to the basket. You get out of your rhythm, and they're going to take a timeout. Talk it over, I guess.
All right, timeout has been called. Mark Kraft is set to go to the free throw line. I was mentioning Mark Kraft a while ago, Joe. I think you're probably old enough to remember this, that Mark Kraft's father, Ray, played on that same 1954 Milan Ball Club, was the other guard with Bobby Plump when they won the state championship right here on this floor. And I've forgotten the size of Ray Kraft, but his son Mark was only 5'7", and is kind of the same mold as Ray was as far as running the ball club and setting up the other players on the team.
Well, I saw that game, and there's a lot of similarity to the way that Shelbyville is playing against this Muncie team and the way Milan played against that Muncie team in that state finals. I think Mark's dad's maybe a couple, 3 inches bigger, but not a whole lot. And
it's one of those great games in the history of Hoosier basketball, Joe, that I suppose when we're gone, people much younger than we are also gone, they'll still be talking about, remember 1954, because that was one of those great moments in all of sporting history.
It was great for Milan. Muncie didn't think it was so great.
No, they weren't too excited about it at the time. Funny thing, people didn't realize that Muncie Central had been to the final, or Muncie Central, that Milan had been to the final for the previous year, so that was not a total fluke. Half missing.
Little man's going to have to warm up a little bit if they're going to get him.
Kraft has only 6 points, 4 of those to come in this period. Tied at 28, less than 2 minutes, down to 1:48 right now. In the third period. Got it inside to Rick Rory. Turnaround shot out front, and Joe, that's what they've been trying to do for the past couple of times up.
That was a pretty pass. Shearer threw that ball into Rory.
Rory now with 10. A minute and a half in the third period.
They'll probably change the strategy a little bit for Shelbyville.
They still appear to be very, very methodical. Bring it across the line. Work. Look for the open man. And there's just not much movement. Now to 1:10 now in this third period. Mark Kraft directing traffic. Working Tim O'Banion on the near side. Has Mike Blackburn out there with him. That's Mike with the basketball. Back to Kraft. Back to Blackburn. Down to 55 seconds to go, third period. 30-28. Muncie Central not in front by 2.
Well, we'll have to talk to Rady sometime later. It's interesting. I think it appears to me right now that they are trying to stay in the game and not get blown out, trying to stay close and win it at the end. They're not concerned about getting out in front, it doesn't appear, of Muncie. So it'll be interesting to talk to him about that later on today.
We're down to 25 seconds to play in the third quarter. And about time for Shelbyville to begin to make a move to the hoop. Bill Harrell is off the Muncie Central bench, screaming to his ball club, letting him know how much time is there, which now shows exactly 10 seconds. Now it's down to 8. With the basketball is Blackburn, down to 4 seconds. Inside to O'Banion, missed it, put back up and good at the buzzer. That is Todd Brokering getting his first 2 points of the game. And after 3, it's all even Steven. Muncie Central and Shelbyville tied at 30 in the fourth period, just around the corner.
And the smile turns on the sun, makes me feel good, so refreshing, makes me feel nice. Have a Coke and a smile, that's the way it should be. And I like to see the whole world smiling with me. Coca-Cola has life, have a Coke and a smile.
Now you can learn more about special health and medical problems with these Tufts New England Medical Center Family Health Guides. Each booklet contains advice about treatment, medication, and prevention of common medical problems. Of course, they cannot be a substitute for your doctor's diagnosis and care, but the advice can help you stay healthy and avoid serious medical problems. Tufts New England Medical Center Family Health Guides at the prescription counter of your neighborhood Hooks Dependable Drugstore.
Jerry Baker and Joe Sexton back at Hinkle Fieldhouse. The final 8 minutes of high school basketball action. The Indianapolis semi-state. And Joe, it's anybody's ball game. We're tied at 30.
It sure is. It's going to be a good one down the line here. It's going to be interesting to see who holds the ball and how long and the style. It's going to be real interesting.
Bearcats in the visiting purple uniforms have the basketball.
Muncie has put Rick Rory in around the high post area, looking to try to give it to him.
Well, Rory's working hard, and now he finally gets it. It's deflected away and picked up by Vance Shear. Shear cannot get it, and it's a foul that we will have against Shelbyville. It'll be on Tim O'Banion. That'll be 3 on him.
Well, Tim doesn't know he's too little to be doing what he does here. See, going over that guy's back to try to get that ball. He doesn't realize that because he jumps too good.
He is an impressive young man. He really is. Tim O'Banion, a 5'8 junior, averaging 7.9 per contest. Had games of 5 and 8 in that Columbus Regional last week, averaging 5.4 rebounds. And Jeff Simon picks up his 14th point. He is the top scorer now for the Bearcats. Average 11.9 over the regular season haul. Top rebounder on the club at 7.9. And he can give Muncie Central a 2-point lead. He does. And ever since it got close at halftime, 22-20, nobody's had more than a 4-point margin. Muncie Central went in front 24-20. Shelbyville came right back and managed to get a 2-point lead of its own. And it was tied at 30 after 3, and it's 32-30 Muncie Central right now with 7:15 remaining in this contest. Shelbyville Golden Bears. They lost their first game of the year to Madison Heights, 64-53. Inside move is a beauty. That's Layman Carter, and that for Layman, Joe, is his first bucket in the second half. He has a total of 9 points. Billy Graham almost walked with it. The Shelbyville fans thought indeed he did. Graham will take the 18-footer and knock it home. And for Billy Graham, his first 2 of the contest. Graham averages 5.3. Billy Graham, one of 4 move-ins with this Muncie Central Ball Club this year. Billy, of course, has a brother Bruce, who was an all-star at Plymouth, Indiana. 34-32. It's Muncie Central in front. They've got it inside. Carter couldn't get it, and a foul called against Muncie Central's Vance Shear. Those move-ins, Joe. Well, let's look at this replay again.
Yeah, let's look here at Layman Carter. He's got 2 passes in a row from Mark Kraft. Goes in between them and gets fouled right there. He's hanging on that ball and hanging in the air. Looks like Mark and Layman show here.
4 move-ins. Simon came in from Daleville, Walker from Denver, Colorado, Sorrell from Delta, Grimm from Fort Wayne Hardy. Bearcats were ranked number 4 in the preseason poll, but things didn't go all that well. They lost 2 of their first 5, actually 3 of their first 6, and went through one, well, I beg your pardon, they lost 1 of their first 4. They went through one stretch where they lost 4 in a row. Layman Carter picks up both free throws. 11 points were locked up at 34. Grimm trying to untie it. Can't get it. Tapped up once. Wouldn't go. Up again. And it will not go again. And the rebound on the missed shot by Jeff Simon. And I've got him for 5 personal fouls. Jeff Simon of Muncie Central has just fouled out of this ball game. And Joe, that is a big, big play.
All right, let's watch this. That ball should have gone in. I don't know how it stayed out there. And there's Jeff Simon swinging. And anytime you take a wild swing like that, if you're close to somebody, you'll make contact most of the time. But if you take a wild swing, well, they're going to call a foul on you, too. It is a foul.
Layman Carter, who just came from the free throw stripe and hit 2, now has 11 points. Joe, you got third quarter stats or through 3 periods of play?
Yeah, 3 periods. 11 for 34 for Shelbyville now. It's shooting 32%, still miserable, but getting better. Muncie shooting 47%. Shelbyville shot 12 free throws to 5 for Muncie. Rebounds, Muncie has a 4 edge.
Those free throws are keeping Shelbyville in the contest.
That's right.
They were 8 for 12 coming into this period. They are now 11 for 15 in the contest. Muncie Central, on the other hand, has been to the line only 5 times in the entire game. Make it 7 now because they've been there twice this period. Layman Carter gets them both. Carter has all 6 of the points for Shelbyville in this period. And here is a foul against Muncie Central's Vance Shear, number 2 on him. And with Shelbyville in front by a 36-34 score, they've got a chance to get their biggest lead of the afternoon, and a timeout is called. 6:05 to play. 36-34. Shelbyville leads Muncie Central. We'll be right back.
182-day money market certificates from American Fletcher are easier to get because we're easier to get too, with 60 convenient locations. You can invest in one in less time than it takes to open a checking account. We'll even send you a monthly interest check. Invest $10,000 or more today, and you'll earn at this high rate for this annual effective yield. Why does American Fletcher make investing in money market certificates so easy? Easy. We want to be your bank.
I think I figured out why they call them Shoal exercise sandals. I got them because they feel so good and they go almost anywhere. But you know, besides the foam padded leather strap and the smooth carved European beechwood, there's this toe grip. It sort of makes your toes hang on, which exercises and helps tone your legs as you walk. And I have been told that I have nice legs.
Whoever told you that?
A minute and 55 seconds have gone by here in the fourth period of play. And it's been tough on the fans, I'll tell you that. The Shelbyville cheering section directly across from us has been quiet as a morgue, and then they've exploded like a three-ring circus from time to time, like right there. Layman Carter has strung out 5 consecutive free throws this period. He has hit 7 in a row after missing 2 of his first 3. He has all 8 of Shelbyville's fourth period points, and they're up by 4 at 38-34.
The thing about this pressure now of Shelbyville is they're keeping it on, Jerry, even though they've gone ahead by 4 points, because Muncie has shown no feel at all for trying to score against the full court pressure.
Rory missed the field goal shot, but a personal foul anyway. The foul is against Mike Blackburn, number 3 on him. Shelbyville showing Joe that patience and perseverance will indeed pay off, because when they were down by 13 points at 17-4, a lot of coaches might have said, let's scrap that game plan and do something else. But Pat Rady stayed right with it, and it's paid off in a 4-point lead that is now down to 3. And Rick Rory trying to chop it by 1 more.
I think we'll see more now of Rick Rory with the ball for the Bearcats. Full court pressure, Jerry.
They give the ball to Mark Kraft. When in doubt, give it to him. Almost knocked away, but managed to hang on to it, did Layman Carter. Carter finds the open man, Mike Blackburn. And with 5 minutes and 35 seconds to go in this contest, Shelbyville up by 2, and they have the basketball. 38-36 the score. Low-scoring affair. Boy, Kraft is dancing close to that timeline, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, but they're backed out there now. They're going to hold on to the ball. The 4 corner.
They've got him trapped. Kraft manages to break free. Oh, all alone inside. Great play. Now that is Layman Carter.
What a pass. Great play by Carter. Nice cut.
Boy, nice Carter seemed to know Joe exactly where he was going when he released the ball back to Kraft. Shelbyville up by 2. Rory couldn't get it. Rebound put back up. Would not fall this time for Sorrell. Sorrell's got it again. He is hacked and fouled by Layman Carter. That's 4 on him. And boy, they cannot afford to lose Layman Carter. There's Layman, number 34. He has been sensational this fourth period.
Well, it's just a nice move here by Sorrell. And there's Layman Carter fouling him. Now, this is what Muncie has to do, Jerry. They have to be more aggressive on the boards. They had about 4 shots that time.
Timeout has been called. They're going to make a substitution change now. It looks like it'll be, well, let's check here. I think it's 52. That'll be Todd Brokery coming in for Shelbyville. And they're going to give some rest time to Layman Carter. And while we have an opportunity with a score 40-36 Shelbyville and 4:56 to play in the contest, we'll thank the folks who worked so hard today to make our telecast a success. And it's not the easiest thing in the world. Don Tillman, our executive producer. Our producer was Michael O'Rourke, directed by Peter Mago this afternoon. John Petritis on studio control. Jim Adoba, slow motion replay. Video, Jim Miller. Audio, Dean McDowell. Our camera folks this afternoon, Nelson Hastings, Mike Pope, Bob DeLong, and Chris Carson. Our floor director was Kurt Edwards, and Mark Cridlin was our production assistant. Our production facilities from WXIX in Cincinnati. And we'll have all this crew gathered together again tonight at 7:30. And we'll be back to give you highlights of the afternoon's action and also talk to perhaps the coaches of this afternoon's contest, the losing coaches, set the scene for tonight's championship game, which will entail the Broad Ripple Rockets, who walked off with a 73-65 victory over Connorsville this afternoon. They got in front by 2-0 and 4-2 and never looked back as they win it 73-65, despite the fact Connorsville made a strong run in the second period. And the top scorer, Jeff Robinson, with 25. And 14 points from King Duke, 12 each out of Kevin Tracy and Stacy Turan. And the Broad Ripple Rockets meet the winner of this ball game, which, Joe, right now still very much up in the air.
I think it's going to be up in the air right down to the wire.
Scott Sorrell with 2. Muncie is 4 for 4 here in this fourth period and the second half. Scott, 86% free throw shooter, averaging 11.5 per contest, had 19 points total in the 2 games in the Newcastle Regional. Shelbyville here with wins in the Shelbyville Sectional and Columbus Regional. Muncie won at Muncie and in Newcastle. Scott Sorrell with 4 points pulls Muncie Central back to within 2 at 40 and 38 with 4 minutes and 52 seconds to play. They get it across the line to Tim O'Banion. O'Banion back out long range to Mike Blackburn. They got 3 men on him. Back to O'Banion, dribbles right through all 3 of them. Looks to the right side, shuffles back out to Blackburn at long range again.
O'Banion is out here in the corner on the 4 corners, then he's under the basket. He gets around pretty good for a guy 5'7" or 8", doesn't he?
Good move inside. Wouldn't go, and a foul. It'll be reaching in over the top by Tim O'Banion, and that's 4 on him.
Well, they made a great play here then. They could not get it in the basket. And then here comes Tim over the back. Who is that over there? Sorrell. It's like Sorrell, yes.
Joe, it's interesting to note that each of the teams we have seen has had that one little guard that's been so effective. King Duke was very good. This afternoon, Steve Pittman played well for Connorsville. Now you're looking at a guy like O'Banion, who though he's 5'8", plays forward. And at the same time, you see a youngster like Mark Kraft, who runs the ball club so well. And here's Billy Grimm, only 5'10", playing well for Muncie Central. This is Scott Sorrell, number 14 to the line. He is 3 out of 3 from there this period. 3 out of 4 in the night. We're back to a flat-footed tie again. Unofficially, that's a half a dozen times the game has been tied. They got it to O'Banion. He may have walked. He did.
I'd like to see it again.
It was an awfully impressive move that O'Banion put on Joe. I'm not sure if he did walk. Oh, he shuffled his feet awfully quickly, if indeed he did. Now the substitution. Billy Grimm coming back in for Mark Averill. Averill, a letter winner last year, moved to the starting lineup with the injury to Gordon Walker, and he's been in and out of the lineup throughout the day. Now the Bearcats have a chance to go in front. Clock showing 4 minutes and 5 seconds to play, and they turn it over. Billy Grimm coming off the bench cold, and there's Bill Harrell very quickly making a substitution change, and Grimm goes right back out of the ball game. Grimm is out. Averill coming right back in. Pretty tough for a young man to come off that bench cold, Joe, in that kind of a situation.
Well, he started to throw it to Rick Rory, and Rick Rory started to make a cut to the middle, to the high post, and then he just couldn't do anything. He'd already used up his dribble.
Inside 4 minutes. A 40-40 ball game. Shelbyville and Muncie Central. Mark Kraft gets it home. Mark Kraft with 8 points.
I wonder how they decide when he's going to go shoot it.
Blocking foul. It is on Mark, and that's 3 on him.
All right, let's see if he gets set here. No, he's still moving. It's a nice call. Nice call.
We'll make that long walk to the other end, and Vance Shear, number 20, will be at the free throw line. Vance, as I mentioned, in that Richmond contest, won by Muncie Central in 2 overtimes, 47-45, hit the winning bucket at the final buzzer. In this period, Joe, Muncie Central has scored only 1 field goal, and we're halfway through it. It belongs to Billy Grimm. Everything else from the free throw line. Rebound cleared out by Layman Carter, and over it goes to Mark Kraft again. And it's 42-41. Shelbyville's Golden Bears have the defending state champion Bearcats of Muncie Central down. Shearer shut off that free area beautifully that time. High post man is Layman Carter. Right side to Kraft in heavy traffic, and back out long range it comes to Mike Blackburn.
I like the way Kraft splits the defense and then pulls it back out of there. He needs to keep it in his hands.
They had Scott Jones and got it to him. They move inside, and a great play by 34 Layman Carter.
And a pass from Mark Kraft.
Layman Carter has 12 of the 14 points Shelbyville has scored this period. He has 19 on the night. His average is 14-4. He has been sensational. Inside all by himself, and missing the shot is Gordon Walker. Tapped up once and finally good, and I think Scott Sorrell gets credit for the hoop. Scott Sorrell Now with 8 points, an average of 11.5. It's 44-43, Shelbyville with 2.5 minutes to play in this ball game. O'Banion, good move. Underhands the shot, misses the shot. Gordon Walker with the rebound. Jeff Simon is gone. He fouled out with 15 points to his credit. And with 2:14 to play, Muncie Central can grab the lead again. Rory, Scott Sorrell, Vance Shear, back to Rory, off the glass, won't fall. Rebound, loose ball, thrown back out, still nobody's got it. Now finally it's Vance Shear who commands possession. Vance Shear, Rick Rory, inside. Rebound and a whistle. Shelbyville will have possession and a foul is called against number 20, Vance Shear. Word on Vance.
Well, let's look here now. Muncie's been getting so many rebounds. It's a nice effort by Layman Carter right there to get that ball. Kind of came down in Vance Shear's lap.
Joe, I can't believe the kind of game that Carter has had in the fourth period. He sort of sleptwalked through the first period, didn't score. 7 in the second, dozed a bit in the third. Although he worked hard, he just wasn't having any luck scoring. And he has just now picked up his 7th free throw, and he has 3 field goals. He has 13 points in this period alone, and 20 on the night.
Well, he's made some clever moves after Mark Kraft has given him the ball.
He missed the second shot, but Muncie Central still down by 2 as the clock continues now to become a major factor. We're down to 1 minute and 35. Rory, Scott Sorrell, back to Rory, lobbed inside to Gordon Walker, out of bounds, and last touch by Muncie Central.
A nice effort by Jones there, by Scott Jones. He got his hand on the ball, and then I think it was Gordon Walker rolled off of his hand.
Timeout has been called by Shelbyville. Well, I tell you, the coaches are getting a workout. Pat Wadey, a Hanover grad in '63, got his master's from Indiana State in 1970. Getting assistance from Tom Gold of Purdue and Steve Drake out of Marion. Bill Harold has Brian Smith from Huntington College back as an assistant this year, and has Jim Fields from Ball State also helping out. Bill Harold, as I think most of you know, the only coach to win state championships in 2 different states. He won it down in Kentucky back in 1966 at Shelby County High School. And also, of course, he won the last 2 years at Muncie Central. He's been the coach of the year the last couple of years. And Joe, this year, the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association has nominated him for National Coach of the Year. Of course, Larry Haney down at Franklin Central was the National Athletic Director of the Year this past year. So we wish Bill well as far as the politicking and voting is concerned there. Ball club last year was 24-5. Their record this year won't be that good no matter what happens. They're only 16-8 right now. And they're in a little bit of trouble also, Joe, with 1:26 to go. They need the basketball.
And if they don't watch out, they're going to be 16-9, aren't they? But right now, you talk about the, history and past history and how many they've won and how many they've been in tournaments. Why, that'll all help them right now, all their tradition.
Kraft has no trouble getting it into Layman Carter. Almost a steal, is a steal, but it's out of bounds. Scott Sorrell, good hustle, almost pulled off that steal to get that basketball back with the purple and white. Kraft will throw it in. Again, they have no great difficulty getting it in to Layman Carter. 1:18 to play in this ball game. The Golden Bears of Shelbyville lead 45-43.
Layman Carter did a nice job of handling that ball there.
You saw it. Mark Kraft tried to dribble between Scott Sorrell and Vance Shear, and he bobbled the basketball. It came back up and hit him, and he carried it. And now Muncie Central has it with a chance to tie. They trail by 2 with 1:05 to play in this game. Rory, near side, Sorrell, tie ball game. Oh, that's a gutsy shot, Joe. Scott didn't even hesitate.
No, I like that. Knocked it right in the hole. Now, if they're in a zone, they're going to hold it for 1 shot. I'll bet on that. Shelbyville will hold for 1 if they're back in there. And I'm going to make a guess now that they won't stay back in there all the time, Jerry.
How far can they let it go, Joe? Now, right now, Bill Harold says, come out and get them man to man. It's down to 32 seconds. They've gone at him just like Joe Sexton told you they would. They've got their man trapped in the corner. Now they go back door to Jones. They bring it back out. They'll set it up, kill some time again. This is Blackburn. It's down to 20 seconds to play. It's a tie game at 45. Mike Blackburn out to Mark Kraft. They'll come near side to Lehman Carter. Down to 12. We're at 11. The Shelbyville fans begin to rise across the way. The Bearcat fans do the same behind us. Down to 5, to 4, to 3. Here is Kraft. He is fouled, and the clock shows no time. The clock shows no time, and let's see. The foul is against Muncie Central's Vance Shear. And look at it again, Joe.
Oh, the little guy takes it right to him now, jumps right into him, and he's going to fall down and look for that foul. There it is.
I'm not so sure, Joe, that there might not ought to be some time on that clock up there. If we could see that again. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can see the unhappiness in the Shelbyville camp. Let's look at this again. If they're calling the timeout, Joe, the clock out, that's totally wrong.
Let's look at the clock. There's the shot with 2 seconds still on the clock.
There's the foul is long since called. Oh, I'm having some trouble with this.
Oh, I cannot understand that at all.
There is Pat Wadey, understandably really upset. The officials have gathered around the scorer's table. And I think our replay, Pete, let's hang on to that. We may want to take a look at that again, because if they're calling time had run out, then I don't think even in our wildest, remotest stretch to be as objective as we can say that that was a good call. And I'd like to give the officials every benefit of the doubt if I can.
I thought they were going over there to see if there was a second left after the free throw.
They're calling it overtime. They are calling it overtime. There's Pat Rady. Howard Catt is the gentleman from behind leaning in. The athletic director at Tech High School. I'm telling you right now, Peter, can we see it again? Peter Mago, our director, in the truck. Now, let's look at it again, Joe. Tell me when you're going to make the foul call. Right there's
there.
Your foul.
Has to be. There's still one after that. He's on the floor.
As a matter of fact, the baseline official had his hand up, extended, with still 1 second showing. Now, I realize that they maybe can't hear the buzzer in this din of noise, but there's a problem here.
We have the third official who is on standby, now talking to the 2 game officials. Oh, we're going to have a bunch of Muncie people real mad if they go shoot free throws now.
I'll tell you, they're not about to come over here and take a look at this replay.
Billy Harrell said it's overtime.
But if he did come and look over here, it's...
Oh, my. Oh, my.
I'll tell you right now, we may have that third official, Joe. He may be the most critical man of this whole arena today.
Nick Swigert, I believe, is who it is. They're going to shoot it.
I'm sorry.
It's
I don't.
The right way.
It's a proper call from what we had on our screen. And I don't wish Bill Harrell or the Bearcats anybody any bad luck, but from what we have on our screen, you've seen it 3 times. There was at least 1 second, Joe, and that clock you saw, by the way, was the scoreboard clock. That was not something we had superimposed on the screen. And if you want to throw it up out again, Peter will be happy to show it to the fans one more time. Now, you be the judge.
Here's Kraft with the ball now.
We've got it slowed down really slow for you. There is the foul right there. You can stop action. You got 2 seconds. I hate to see anybody lose a ball club under this a ball game under this kind of a heated discussion. And I would hate to see anybody lose because they didn't have an opportunity that should be theirs. Now, there's the conversation that's going on between Roger DeYoung and Bill Harrell.
Well,
and as a matter of fact, Joe, I'm not so sure that there shouldn't be at least a second put back on that scoreboard for Muncie Central to use, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's what Bill Harrell ought to talk to him about now. But
As a matter
It's
of
hard
fact,
for him to argue the game should be over, didn't put a second back.
as a matter of fact, I'm not so sure they shouldn't have 2 seconds coming, but they certainly should have 1 anyway. Okay, now they're going to put 1 second back on there. And that is Roger DeYoung motioning to us what they were going to do. Now Muncie Central wants to take time out, and the reason for that is twofold. Number one, they'd like Mr. Kraft to think about it. And secondly, Joe, they'd like to make a decision what they will do if the ball goes in the hoop, because the clock will not stop, or will not start, and I'm sure they'll, if they've got any more timeouts left, to use them. Let's quickly catch up some scores we have here. Fort Wayne South and Valparaiso are tied going into their second overtime. It was tied at 64 after the first overtime. New Albany beat Terre Haute South 72-59. Crawford County has Evansville North down 25-18 at halftime. And we had an earlier score of Marion winning and Gary and Grahan winning. Now there we are. Now we're back to 1 second to play. And the interesting thing about that, Joe, if you really want to talk specifics, is when they put that on 1, that can be 1.1 or it can be 1.9.
That's right.
And you're talking about a lot of time in a situation like this.
And if it's 1.9, it'll be closer than 1.1. That's right, because we saw it at 2 when he got fouled.
My goodness.
Great TV coverage, wasn't it? Huh?
I'll tell you.
Nice job.
Yes, sir. Our TV crew, outstanding job. You have just caught the highlight of the tournament so far as the local area is concerned. Here is Mark Kraft, a 77% shooter. Remember now, there's 1 second remaining. There will be no foul. You can rest assured of that. A couple of the Muncie Central cheerleading crew. If he makes it, they'll probably call the timeout again.
They'll throw a long pass.
Here it comes. It is up court to Rory. It is up. It is no good, and the ball game is over. The Shelbyville Golden Bears have surprised the Muncie Central Bearcats. Final score is 47-45. I'm happy for Shelbyville. I am disappointed for Muncie Central. And I am particularly disappointed that the game has put a controversy, Joe, but that's what that clock is all about. Final again, 47-45. We'll make an effort, if possible, to talk to Pat Rady and perhaps Bill Harrell when we return to Hinkle Fieldhouse in just a moment.
This is Mr. Yuck. His green face tells children that the contents of harmless-looking containers can make them very sick. Of course, potentially harmful products should be kept away from children. But if you suspect of poisoning, call the Indiana Poison Center toll-free for prompt, reliable help 24 hours a day. Mr. Yuck stickers and poison information are free at all Hooks drugstores. Just ask your pharmacist in green. And pick up syrup of Epicac, the universal poison antidote at Hooks. Together, they could save a life.
Starburst fruit chews, a burst of refreshing fruit flavors for you. Tastes like mouth-watering orange, lip-smacking lime, luscious strawberry and tangy lemon. You get a burst the very first time you bite into a Starburst. It's true, a burst of refreshing fruit flavor for you. Naturally and artificially flavored.
Color me quencher, color me wet, color me glowing and hard to forget. Color me quencher, color me wet, color me softer, the softest lips yet.
Lip Quencher, created by Chapstick, drenched with moisturizers, so your lips feel as good as they look. Color Me Quencher, any color you choose.
Color me quencher.
Okay, you guys, just wait till you try this new pizza. It is something.
It's a great big pan full of pizza.
Pizza Hut presents new Sicilian pan pizza.
There's all kinds of cheese on top. The crust is really thick. Pizza. And there's so much piled on top.
Pizza.
Not gonna...
It takes a pan to hold it all.
New Sicilian pan pizza from Pizza Hut, made by hand right in the pan.
Boy, is it ever good.
We're coming into Pizza Hut. Coming in for good.
For new Sicilian pan pizza.
Back at Hinkle Fieldhouse, a rather noisy and rather disturbed and perturbed, at least in some sections, Hinkle Fieldhouse. Jerry Baker along with Joe Sexton. Final score is 47-45. Joe, you coached and played a lot. I'm sure you've seen finishes like that before. Boy, it can really do strange things to you emotionally, whether you win or whether you lose.
Well, you know, we talked about going back to 1954, and we don't want to, you know, wear it out, but it's the same thing. Kraft makes 2 free throws now at the buzzer. But the nice thing about it is they did get it squared away. It was the right way for it to be done. There was some time left.
It was an accurate call, and that is a totally unbiased opinion. You saw it at least 4 times on our set with the slow motion replay. Here's the way the scoring went for the victorious Shelbyville Golden Bears. 20 points for Layman Carter. Joe, he had a 13-point fourth period. He was sensational. 11 points for Tim O'Banion. 10 from Mark Kraft, including the winning free throws. For Muncie Central, they were led in scoring by the 15 of Jeff Simon, who fouled out of the game in the fourth period. And 12 points from Rick Rory. The other 10 more points to Scott Sorrell. Final again is 47-45. And, of course, in the first game of the afternoon, the Broad Ripple Rockets defeated Connorsville by a 73-65. So it's Broad Ripple and Shelbyville tonight. And we'll be on the air at 7:30, Joe. Maybe we'll get a chance to show that highlight again.
I'm sure we will, but that was a great game plan by Shelbyville there, and it's a tough way for Muncie to lose, as you said.
Any reproduction of our telecast is strictly forbidden without the express written permission of WTTV, who also, of course, has approval of the announcers used in our telecast. Jerry Baker speaking for Joe Sexton, inviting you again now to be with us tonight at 7:30 for our pregame show. Then the Indianapolis Semi-State Championship game between the Broad Ripple Rockets and the Shelbyville Golden Bears. So long for now.